and welcome back to another final table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and KalipokerTV poker replays, so you can go check out the action and some silence if you choose to do so. And with all that being said, today we got a WCOOP from 2024. We got Sejeister with a big stack, we got Celowan, Sunny, Tonka, Pampa with a 4 big blind stack, Jedis, Nosebacka, Lil Danny, and BBRS. Get a raise from under the gun, ace-4-0. Celowan plays call with the king-queen suited. Interesting stuff. Suppose they don't want to bloat the pot with a playable holding. And the real question is going to be in the big blind. Does BBRS come along with 10-7-0 or do we just fold? Swift fold, king-jack, 8 flop, 1 heart. 2 spades for Sejeister, back to a royal flush draw. Celowan with some backdoor straight draws as well. And the top is the pairs. Sejeister starts things off with a check. Goes check, check, queen on the turn. 2 pair for Celowan. Sejeister with a straight draw to the 10. Sejeister checks. Surely Celowan puts in a bet here now. 4.3 blinds. And that will likely take it down. Sejeister just priced out of the pot. And it's already doing it. Making me skip forward. That was one hand. There we go. Celowan folds. Sunny's out of there. Pampa's a strong player. I hope they can find a way to pick up some chips here. Get back in the game. Maybe make a ladder or two. Knows back as well. And everybody knows Tonka. Little Danny sitting out on their back quickly. Ace-jack for Jedis will open. Sejeister in the big. 9-7 suited. Plays call. 10-8-2 flop. 2 spades for Sejeister with the open-ended straight draw. They're going to be the heavy equity favorite here. Jedis with the top. Nope, no pairs. 2 overcards, my apologies. Backdoor straight draw. Bets 3 blinds on the wet board. Sejeister goes for the check raise. Now Jedis didn't want to see this, but I think they can find the fold. They do swiftly get out of there. Ace king for Tonka. Doesn't look like they're going to get any action here today. With this ace and the king. Tonka rips it in for 15 blinds. Would have liked to see a min raise, but 15 blinds, ace king, you can't go wrong. Tonka says rip it in. Take it down pre. Ace 8 for Jedis will open it on up from early position. Sunny in the big with king 7-0. I think we let this go. Yeah. Sunny's going to be in a weird spot. They're going to have to tighten right on up until we see Nosebacka, Pampa, and Tonka leave the tournament. And they might even wait for BBRS to swiftly leave too. Pampa takes the spot with king 8 suited under the gun. Little Danny. I just wanted to say their name. Ace 7 suited. We'll fold. Tonka in the big with a 5 and a 2. 2 more blinds to call into a pot that'll be about 8. We see Tonka's got the right price. They do find the call. Flop a straight draw. 7 on the turn is not what we're looking for, but the ace on the river will get the job done. 8 blinds slide Tonka's way. Everybody gets a little ladder. We lose a body. Fortunately, it was Pampa. Queen 10 for Sejeister. We'll open it on up. Is this the hijack? The hijack open. Jack 9 suited for Jedis defends the big. Ace 7 6 flop. 1 diamond for Jedis is not quite what they're looking for. Sejeister sees the ace high board. They'll take a stab. And Jedis is out of there. King queen for BBRS. I think we go for the open. 28 blinds. Nose back is big. BB says, I'm actually going to limp. That's an interesting little play. Jedis calls from the small with 5-4-0. Knows back in the big, will happily check it back now. Ace 10-10 flop. BB with the straight draw. Looking for a jack. King high's best right now. BB bets a blind. And the other two players will fold. So I gotta say, kind of like what I saw there from BB. Kept that pot small with a limp. Sees an ace high board. It's paired. Straight draw. BB takes a little stab, one blind, and takes it down. Ace 9 for Jedis will raise from the button and take it down pre. Nose back is thinking about it with 8-10, but not for long. So we got 61k for the victor. 46k for second place, so about a 15k heads up match we're looking at. Everybody's made about $2,000 from the one body leaving Pampa. Suggestor with a couple of 5s under the gun will raise and take it down pre. Blinds go up. Nine, 7 over Tonka. I don't know why I thought they were going to play this. They'll fold it around to little Danny with the King 7-0 on the button. Suggester's in the big, so little Danny might pass on the spot. Suggester has ways too many chips to play with. BB might... yeah, little Danny's out of there. BB limps in the 4s. Suggester with 10-4 might raise it up here, and then BB's going to be in a weird spot. 3 blinds in total. 2 more to call. I think BB's more likely to rip it in here than to call. But I'm just wrong. They land on the call option. Ace Jack 6 flop. Suggester bets 2 blinds. BB with the under pair finds the fold. And that's why you might rip it in pre. But BB's still trying to make a few $1,000s here. Knows back with 3 blinds. How many dollars? Looking at a 3k ladder. So BB says, I'm just going to find the fold with the 4. Celoan with a couple of queens. Knows back folds the ace. 8 deuce suit. Ace. Oh my lord. 8-2 offsuit for Suggester folds from the small Sunny with a couple of 8s. Raises under the gun. Celoan in the big. Sizing up a 3-bet. 7 blinds to go. 5 more to call for Sunny. 32 behind. Not gonna rip it in. Sunny does play call. King 5-3 flop. 15 blinds in the middle. Celoan bets 3.5. Sunny's in a weird spot. There's no flush draw. Like ace 4, ace 2 suited has straight draws. Ace queen has a backdoor straight draw. 3 on the turn. Sunny's in a weird spot here. That king is obviously a pretty scary card for both players, but Celoan would have the range advantage. We'll check. I don't think Sunny bets here. I think they just check and see a river. Don't you dare do it to him, Poker Stars. Celoan needs these 22 blinds in the middle. Not really, but it's fun to see Celoan with a big stack. Oh, Sunny goes for a sneaky little bet here. This is probably to check back the river. Celoan, please call. Don't you dare fold. That king's scary for Celoan. This is a small bet. There's the call, king on the river. This will go check. 34 blinds will slide Celoan's way. I wonder if they lead on out here as like some sort of block bet. Like 4 blinds or something. Celoan says my hand's probably best. They go for the check still. It would be one hell of a play by Sunny if they rip it in here. It's obviously not going to work out for them. They will just check. Celoan will take the big pot. And Sunny's down to 16 blinds with 1 in the middle. Like a 17 blinds with 1 in the middle. Ace 7 for Jettis will raise. So Jeister with an ace and a 10 on the button. I'd like to see a 3-bet. See these two big stacks go to war. Jettis could always click it back with a 4-bet. Might prefer to have an ace that's suited. But my mind sure wants to see some of this action as we do get the 3-bet to 6.5 blinds. I don't think Jettis calls, but they don't even think about a 4-bet. They just swiftly fold. King 3 suited for Tonka in the big. Who's going to open? So Jeister with the big stack, 5-6-0. Celowan is 8-7-0 on the button. Couple playable holdings. So Jeister goes for the open. Celowan's out of there. Sunny folds the suited connected stuff. That'd be a sweet jam by Tonka. Do we ever make it something small like 5 blinds? Tonka finds the jam. Beautiful play. They're going to get it through pre. Beautiful. Love to see it. Queen Jack suited for Tonka in the small. It's going to be interesting to see what they elect to do. Jettis in the big with a Jack 4-0. Do we limp in Queen Jack here? I think it's a limp. I suppose Tonka could always raise to like 3 blinds. Oh, they just rip it in and take it down pre for 20. Well, like, you know, they ripped it in for 20 and they took it down, is what I'm trying to say. Holy moly, I gotta drink more coffee. Folds around a Jettis in the small with a 10 and a 6. They go for the disrespectful min raise. Nose back out only has about 2.8 blinds. They're all in with 8-6 and they're completely dominated here. You're gonna need to find an 8. Or does the bear... Oh, a double paired board with the ace. Nose back survives. I thought there were some chop outs. Nose back finds them. Would a 6 also work? I think a 6 would have worked as well. King Jack suited for nose back. Jeister with the King 4 suited raises from an early position. Nose back will be getting it in as the dominating favorite this time. For about 8 blinds, we just gotta sweat a club or a 4. King on the river is clean. Nose back will take down a small pot. And then they get a King Queen suited, Tonka with Ace Queen. So Jeister with 6-5 suited. I think we raise under the gun. With that big stack, yeah, we do. Does Tonka go for a 3-bet here? And if so, what size do we go? Like 5 blinds? Or do we just rip it in its ace queen offsuit? They make it 4.6. This is a beautiful little play. Love to see the small 3-bets. King queen suited for nose back on the button. I think we can fold now. Nose back says yep. So Jeister with the 6-5 suited has plenty of chips to defend if they want to. Ace King 5 flop. Good news for Tonka with the toppest of pairs. So Jeister with a bottom pair backdoor flush draw. Tonka's probably going to bet small again. 2.3 blinds. It does size up a turn jam, but I don't think he's going to take it. I think he bets small again. Do you ever bet like 3.6 or something silly? Let's see what Tonka elects to do. Board's obviously pretty clean for Tonka, losing to ace 5, ace 8 maybe? Maybe 5s and 8s? Not 8s. Tonka bets 4.6. Bet on the turn we'll get through. King Jack suited for Jeister, waiting patiently in the big. This might fold around a BB in the small with a suited ace. If they just want chips, they could rip it in. That's not likely though. They're probably limp. Suggestor raises to 3 blinds. BB calls? No, they do just rip it in. They want chips. We can see they're the slightest of favorites, 56%. Nice to see BB take the spot here. Suggestor might be priced out of the pot. I don't think Suggestor wants to put another 17, 18 blinds in the middle. They do find the call very interesting. Any king, jack, or 9 club, a club on the river for BB, they get the full double. Very interesting. Suggestor took the spot there. This isn't even a bounty tournament or nothing. Suggestor just wanted to knock out BB. Well, like, his hand had plenty of equity, you know, but you're almost always behind there. Could be flipping against a pocket pair. But like king 9 suited, king 8 suited, 7. I don't know if, I think there might be one of those that might like, I don't think they like jams. Right? Every once in a while, maybe like a king 10 suited might want a jam. So maybe there is a holding that Suggestor dominates. Anyways, both players got a pair of 7s here. Suggestor with a slightly better kicker. What? Are we going to chop this bad boy up? Celoan with a diamond draw. A pair of 7s, bets 2 blinds. King on the river. How many cards are we playing? This is a chop pot. 7s. King 10, 6. Goes check, check. And we chop it up. King queen for Jettis with the big stack will raise from early position. And they're going to get this through pre. Sunny with a 6 and a 2 and 14 blinds has to let it go. 7-6 suited for Jettis will raise. Little Danny 10-9 suited. Putting a 3-bet, my friend. No, they just find the fold. I love their name though. Little Danny. 46 bigs for Little Danny. 980. We'll let it go. Nose back with the ace jack. 7.5 blinds. We could just rip this one in under the gun. Get it through pre. And nose back says stick in about half your stack. Just in case there's a few more jams or something, you could potentially make a few $1,000s and fold. Interesting stuff. Ace 6 suited for BB with a 38 blinds. Does go for the open. We love to see it. BB, seemingly an aggressive player. Taking all the spots. That's good to see. Raise gets through pre. Ooh, a couple of queens for nose backa. Suggestor with 8-10 suited will raise. No, they're going to pass it on the spot, being in second place now. I want to see a limp from nose backa. They might just stick it in. They might go for a min raise. What do we do against little Danny in the big with a 3-5-0? Queens rip and take it down pre. Nose backa with 11 blinds now. Ace queen suited for Celoan. Queen 8 suited for BB in the big. We'll see a raise from early position and probably a call from the big. Don't think Queen 8 suited wants to go for a 3-bet here. Certainly not in this situation. King 7 for little Danny. We'll fold to small. Ace 10-6 flop. 1 heart for BB. Topest of pairs for Celoan. We'll bet and take it down. Not much going on here. BB with the ace 9. Oh, what do we do from the small? I wonder if we want to have the limping strategy, playing about 38 blinds deep. Suggestor in the big. I think we want a limp. We'll see what BB does. Yeah, a little limpsky. Suggestor might raise it up with the 4-7-0. They check it back this time. Jack 7-6 flop. So BB's got a backdoor straight flush draw. That's kind of cool. Little pair of sevens for Sejeister. Sejeister bets 1.5 blinds or half pot, and BB calls. 10 on the turn, giving them a straight draw. Looking for an 8. Ace or a 9 also get the job done. 6 on the river. 6 blinds in the middle, likely to slide Sejeister's way. I don't think BB bluffs. You would have expected hands like Queen 9, King Queen to bet on the turn in Sejeister's shoes. 8-9 makes a straight on the turn. Sejeister checks down a pair of sevens and takes the pot. What's going on here? Not too much. A little Danny with an ace. BB with an ace. It is a weird spot for little Danny. I think we're going to be folding. We got Sejeister in the small, Celowan in the big. 2 big stacks, 2 very aggressive players. From the cutoff, obviously if little Danny wants chips, they'll come in for the open. But the ace 8 hits the muck. BB lets go of an ace on the button. Just a scary spot for both players, if we're being honest. I think it's a great opportunity just to fold and wait. 3-4 for Sejeister, but flops bottom pair. Celowan with middle pair with a good kicker. I don't think we want to see a free card in Celowan's shoes. They do bet a blind. Sejeister says, okay, I guess I come along to the turn. Backdoor straight draw, bottom pair. Ace on the turn, so now we got a straight draw for Sejeister. The 5s are still good. 7 on the river. I think Sejeister checks. Celowan will likely check, and 5 blinds will slide their way. There we go. Ace King for Sejeister, Ace 9 for BB on the button. I think we'll come in for the open. 3-bet from Sejeister. Celowan folds to small with Ace 4-0. I suppose BB could pass on the spot, but Sunny in the big isn't likely to defend. I think a small 3-bet comes in to about, I was going to say 5.5. 5.7 is the 3-bet from Sejeister. 3-bet gets through, of course. Blinds go up. Ace Queen for Jettis under the gun. Ace 4-0 for Tonka in the big. Little Danny with a Queen 10-0 will fold. Yeah, the question is going to be, what does Tonka do? We don't even have to defend here, I don't think. We do have some chips to play with. Tonka goes for a small 3-bet. Obviously, this isn't going to work out, but we love to see the play. I think Jettis will rip. There's the all-in, and Tonka swiftly folds. Queen 9 suited for nose back. I think we fold under the gun. Celowan with an ace and a 10 will go for the open. And then Sunny will rip ace king. And then Celowan. I wonder if we can fold for 6 blinds. Be how many chips in the middle there? 12, 8, 20. 8 into 20 is the proposition. Celowan says, yeah, let's just get this in. A flop straight for Sunny, a pair of 10s, 3 of a kind even for Celowan. Obviously that's no good. Full double for Sunny, nose back. It says, oh, what the fuck, Poker Stars? Why'd you do that to me? 9-9 for Tonka with 16 blinds. I would like to see a min open, a Jettis jam, Tonka call. Be beautiful, but Tonka might just rip it in for 16 blinds as well. They go for a small open, 2.3 blinds. Jettis folds the ace. Knows back. I think he folded 10-6. Oh, yep. Queen Jack suited for Sageister will open from early position. Little Danny with the King 7 will defend the big. We're suited. I suppose we could just fold. Sonny's got 18 blinds. Tonka 18. Knows back with 6. Then BB has 26. Oh, aces for little Danny. Not much action for him, but Queen 10 for Tonka will fold. Does the Queen 9 rip it from the button? I hope not. We're gonna lose nose back if they do. Oh no, they took the spot. I think little Danny plays call. BB will swiftly fold. Any queens or nines? 8 on the river. Little Danny wins a nice pot. We lose nose backa. So a couple of strong players leave the tournament. Pampa, nose backa. And he has a pretty stacked final table, as they all are. Then there's a couple players I'm unfamiliar with, which is Sunny, BB, and Lil Danny, but seems like reasonable play so far. BB's playing nice and aggressive. Lil Danny's waiting out patiently. They get a nice spot with the aces. They haven't done anything silly. Sunny's been aggressive. Those 8s versus queens certainly hurt him. But other than that, been some reasonable play. Ace Queen for Sageister, Ace 9 for Celowan. Both players with the toppest of pairs. Deuce on the river, so the Queen still plays. I think the Queen was playing no matter what the river is. Yep. The 9 was not always going to play if the board had paired, but we see a brick. Celowan finds the call 30 blinds, slides Sageister's way. They're back in first place. Jack 10 suited for Sunny under the gun might come for the min open. There it is. King 3 suited for Jettis could always 3-bet. Make it like 4 blinds. Oh, they just fold. That would have been too cute. 3 and a 3 for Sageister. I think we raise the button. Queen 10 for BB might just fold the cutoff. Couple of ducks for little Danny. I'd love to see an open from him. No, not this time. Little Danny and BB are in such a weird spot, eh? Like, so there's Sageister. There's Celowan. They both got chips to throw around. Two scary, scary players. As Jettis opens up an ace and a 10. Ace Jack for Celowan. Ace 5 for Sageister. I think this hits the muck. They could always go for a little 3-bet and look to take it down pre, which I think it might work out, but they just fold. Ace Jack for Celowan calls. 9-7-7 flop. Jettis bets 2 blinds. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Jettis. 2 overcards. Celowan with a backdoor straight draw, 2 overs. Folds on the flop. Nice little steal from Jettis. Ace 5 suited for Sageister will open from, where are we, the hijack. Sunny will fold King 9 on the button. And Tonka and Jettis will also fold. Ace 4 for Sunny. I think we're folding. 20 blinds. It's offsuit. We just gotta hope Tonka busts. So we got what, 7 players? Everybody's locked up $11,000. Jettis, or sorry, this is Sunny. Sunny finds the open. Jedis is going to face the open from the small with ace-6. Oh, I think we let it go. Does Jedis find a 3-bet though? No, not this time. 10-8 suited for little Danny. Defends the big with a call. Ace-Jack 2 flop. Little Danny with a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. A few backdoor straight draws. Sees a 1 big blind bet. This is kind of disrespectful. Little Danny will come along to the turn. Right? Or are we just done with the pot? Weird spot for little Dan. They do just fold facing the disrespectful bet. Jack 10 for Sageister. Will raise under the gun. Ace Queen for Jedis. From the button. They play call. Excuse me. Hiccups. Jack 4-4 flop. So Jedis has got 2 overs, backdoor straight draw. Could go to the turn for free if they want to. 6 blinds in the middle. Jedis bets 2. Sageister will call. Poker stars give us a 10. 3 of clubs, pretty boring. Sageister will check. Jedis will check. And we're off to the river. I wonder if Jedis tries to fold out some pocket pairs like 5s, not 3s. Deuces, I wonder if those would have hit the muck on the flop. Jedis says no, we'll just show it down. Ace 5 makes a straight. 5-6 makes a straight, but I suppose that's not too likely in either player's shoes. Sageister bets 6 blinds for value into a pot of 10.5. And Jedis gets out of there. Ace 9 for Tonka. I wonder if we just fold this 15.5 blinds. Don't rip whatever you do. Don't think that would come in, but Tonka does go for the min open. 2.2x. BB with ace king suited. I think we rip from the small 22 blinds. Pretty easy call there. And then Tonka will fold. Oh, this is the beautiful play. BB goes for a non-all-in 3-bet. Still going to get the same result, but it's the play. It's beautiful. Ace 8 for Jedis will open. Where are they? The hijack? Yes, they are. 8-6 for Celoan in the big. I think we fold. Sageister's thinking something sneaky with a suited jack. But Jedis' raise gets through pre. 7 and a 7 will raise again. Celoan with the ace and the queen in the small. Little Danny thinking about something with Queen Jack O. I kind of want to see a 3-bet from little Danny. It would put Celoan in a weird spot with ace queen offsuit. Then we'd get to learn from them, see what they would do in this situation. But instead we just get a Jedis open. Celoan call from the small 9-8. King 9-8 flop. 2 hearts for Celoan. Backdoor straight draw. Get the 3 of hearts on the turn. Celoan, I don't think we need to bet here. Checks it on over. We don't necessarily want to face a bet though. Get a free 6 of hearts. Celoan with the 3rd nards. Oh shit, there's some straight flushes. So what, 10-7, 7-5 suited? So is that the 5th nuts? Celoan bets. 4-5 suited is not a straight flush. Fifth nuts. And Jedis calls? With a pair of 7s, no heart? 7-7, no heart finds a call? Are those guys in the same stable or something? Why did Jedis just give him 4 blinds? Was it 3? Whatever it was, it's just unnecessary. Jedis, what are we doing, my friend? You're a strong player. So let's think that one through. So like, what do they think they're bluffing? As we get a Tonka Jam versus the Sageister Open. Is it ever going to be like Ace Queen, Ace Jack, no heart? What about... Like, my thinking is it's going to be a lot of suited connected stuff or a strong ace high in Celowan shoes with the call from the small. As we get a Jettis rip with the ace 3. I just got to think about those sevens a little bit more. Like, surely there's a reason Jettis finds the call there. Like, what about an ace 5-0? Wouldn't that hit the muck pre-flop? So it's just like, Jettis is saying, I hope you've got something suited and connected that isn't a heart. You aren't betting a pair of kings like this. It's either a heart or nothing. And then, which hearts are you going to bet? Obviously the straight flushes. So it's just like, once you think about Celowan's value range, it shouldn't be lower than the queen of hearts, I don't think. Maybe the jack of hearts comes in for a value bet too. It would be the 6th nuts. Like, I could see it. Would it go for that big of a bet though? So you know what, Jettis? I think the reason why they found the call was because there's just so few value hands. As Lil Danny makes it straight here. Bingo bongo Jettis with the flush draw. So the more I think about the sevens, Jettis taught me something. They're just making a hero call. Sometimes you make a hero call and you're wrong. Big bet by Lil Danny. Hopefully no spade comes on the river. A king is a chop pot and 8 is a chop pot. Does Jettis jam? I think we play call because we don't necessarily need to jam. But they do find the all-in. Lil Danny with the second nuts calls. 75%. 5 of hearts on the river. Little Danny is up to 75 blinds. Huge pot goes their way. Ace Queen for Sunny. Ace Deuce for Sageister. Oh yes, Lil Danny with the big stack. Of the new players, I wanted to see them pick up the big stacks. They're not new players. Of the players I'm unfamiliar with. Little Danny, I wanted to see them pick up the big stack as Sunny goes for a small 3-bet with the Ace Queen. But then there's BB who's playing a nice aggressive game. So I think they might just pick up a stack just because of who they are. Ace Deuce jams it all into Sunny. Go for the opportunity here. Yes, they do. Flop top pair. No outs on the river for Sageister. Or no outs on the turn. Sageister's dead on the turn. That's what I'm trying to say. Ace 7 for Jettis will limp it on in. Now Lil Danny has a stack. Sageister's got 82 blinds. And Sunny's back in the game with 42 bigs. BB with a 7-6 suited will come along. Jack 3-3 flop. Ace 7 for Jettis flops the flush draw. Sageister with not much doing, but could very well chop the pot if they get showdown with Jettis here. 10 of clubs, so fuck all that. Jettis with the nut flush on a paired board. And there's Tonka with 15 blinds. What an interesting little game we got brewing here. Jettis will bet 2 blinds and take it down. So this is like a surprisingly stacked final table. I didn't mention it at the beginning because I was just unfamiliar with BB, Sunny, and Lil Dan. But I kind of feel like we've got Elena at the table that I'm just unfamiliar with. BB, just aggressive player playing for chips. Lil Danny making the nuts, getting it all in versus a flush draw. And then they get aces. So Lil Danny's not necessarily, they're running good, you know. They just haven't made any mistakes, I don't think. Celowan has the toppest of pairs. Backdoor flush draw, Sageister with a backdoor flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. 2 on the turn, not what Sageister's looking for. Jettis with the hero call with the sevens. That was fun to note. Made me think about a hand for a little while. And I do actually see the reason why the hero called in the end. I love to see hero calls. I thought it was just like a punt. I thought they were just like donating some chips over to Celowan. But if there's only going to be like... Well, there'll be quite a few combos of the suit or the unsuited aces, kings, and queens, but not too many. And then there'll be suited hands and Celowan shoes with this, and then Jettis with the 7/7 says, "I'm just gonna make a hero call." It was a beautiful hand of poker that I was confused about. 8-4 suited for Sejester. Ace Queen suited for Celowan, sees the open from the button. 3-bet incoming. And I think Sejester will fold. No, Celowan plays call from the small. Sunny with 8-9-0 in the big has some chips to play with. They come along to the Ace King 6 flop. Sejester with a little flush draw. Celowan with the top is the pairs. Sunny with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Sejester bets 2 blinds. Celowan will play call. And Sunny's out of there. King of diamonds on the turn, so Sejester makes his flush. You don't expect a whole lot of King X to bet on the flop if you're Celowan. So you're kind of worried about 6-6 and King 6? Ace 6? Well, you beat that now. Then there's the flushes, of course. Sejester bets 4.3 blinds. If I'm Celowan, I find a call on the turn, and then we evaluate the river. 5 of clubs. Well, it feels like another call here. Huh, what do we do, Celowan? Would Ace Jack or Ace 10 go for another value bet? Ace 9, Ace 8. Sejester's going to have all of this. You hope to see a check, though. Sejester in the tank, 20 blinds in the middle. Another value bet comes in here. About half pot, and I think you play call and Celowan choose. We'll see if Celowan can escape the danger. We certainly don't raise for value. Celowan does call and sees the bad news. 84 blinds for Sejester. That's a healthy first place position. Jack 8-0 from the cutoff. Celowan with a couple of 6s. They're in third last place. I don't know if we want to jam it in here. Do we want to call off 25 blinds? Like, not really. There's the all-in from Celowan with the pocket pair. And I'll take it down pre. Would be an interesting call. Jack 8-0. Not gonna happen, of course. Ace Queen suited for Celowan. So they're picking up some holdings, but things haven't quite worked out for them. Sejester's back in there with 10-7-0. Does Celowan 3-bet small here off 30 blinds, or do we play call? Don't think we jam 30 blinds. Ace Queen suited. Small 3-bet comes in. And it'll get through pre. 10-10 for Jettis. 8-8 for little Danny. This isn't good news for little Danny. This is not good news. Limp pot. Little Danny might bump it up. Hopefully they check it back. Wouldn't be surprised to see the raise, but we do see a 10-7-4 flop. Danny checks it back. I think they escape danger here. Top set for Jettis. 3 flush board. Backdoor straight draws. Another overcard to Danny's 8s. Did Danny just lose the absolute minimum here? 1.5 blinds is the bet. I could see a hero call come in. At least on the turn. Evaluate the river. And Danny says, no. Just fold. You're absolutely dead. As they pick up another pocket rocket. Celowan with Ace King. Oh no, Celowan's out. Does Lil Danny call from the small? What size do we 3-bet if we're 3-betting? Like 6 blinds? 6.5 or something? 7? Somewhere around there. I don't think we go like 9. 7 is the size. Yeah, Sutherland's going to dunk it in. They're going to need a whole bunch of kings or some straight help. If they could play call, that would be sweet. All in from Sutherland. Quick call from Lil Danny. No outs on the turn for Sutherland, so just like that, they're Gonzo Alonso in 7th place. Just a huge cooler in Lil Danny's favor. Then they get a couple of 6s in 1st place. They'll raise from the button and take it down pre. BB with the queen and the jack and the small blind I think just folds. A 3-bet would be pretty cool. I don't think we call though. There's the 3-bet from BB. 6 blinds in total to go, and I think Little Danny folds. This is a very strong play. If they jam, I think they take it down pre-flop. Good luck to Little Danny. Can you read through BB's 3-bet? They find the call, Jack 7 2 flop. Interesting stuff by Lil Dan. 2 big blind bet by BB. Can we fold the 6s without a diamond? This is a small bet. We might be off to the turn. 3 of diamonds. Now we can fold Little BB. Or Little Danny. Not Little BB. BB will bet. Right? Nope, I'm wrong. Just wait and see the action here. This is a hand I'm very unsure of what either player should do. 7 on the river. Like, in BB's shoes, do we want to bet for value? 7 isn't a good card. The flush completes on the turn. There's still some like ace high. We might. Can we bet like 2 blinds again? 3 blinds maybe? Or is it just worth a check as BB effectively rips it in, leaving themselves with 1 blind behind? This might get a call from the 6s if they're curious. Would be a little misstep, but not an expensive one for Little Danny. Nice fold by Dan. Looks like I gotta skip forward again. There we go. Ace 9 suited for Tonka under the gun. I think we can stick it in for 10 blinds. Tonka sticks in 7.5, and Sonny in the big with the king 8 suited will let it go. Little Danny with the AC deucey. It's offsuit with the big stack. I think we can open 2.2 blinds. Little Danny finds it. Tonka in the big with an 8 and a 6. We'll just fold. 9-7 suited for Suggestor. Poppity boppity boo will raise the button. King 9 suited for Jettison the big. A 3-bet would be super cool to see. I don't think it's coming in. Probably just gonna play call. Queen 9-6 flop. Jettis with a straight draw to the 10. Backdoor flush draw for Suggestor. Backdoor straight draws. They bet 1.5. And Jettis might be done with a pot. They say no, we're off to the turn. 3 of diamonds. A 10 would have been super cool to see. A Suggestor would have picked up straight outs. Jettis would have made the straight. Suggestor would have been fucked. Jettis could win a big pot. Instead we see Suggestor take it down on the turn here as they pick up a diamond draw. 4-6 suited for Tonka. I think we fold 10 blinds. We just move along. Jettis with the 8-9 suited in the small. We'll limp it on in. Little Danny with Queen 2 suited. Checks it back. Excuse me. 6-5-4 flop. Jettis with a straight draw to the 7-2 overcards. Little Danny with a straight draw to the 3. Backdoor flush draw to the clubs. We get the king of clubs on the turn, which is interesting. Jettis does bet 1.5 blinds. Little Danny will call with the best holding with the queen high. 10 of clubs, or sorry, 10 of diamonds on the river. Clubs are on my mind. Jettis bets. I think that they can take the pot down. 3.5 blinds, and little Danny sitting here with queen high. They find the fold, no surprises there. Nice little steal by Jettis. Jack Jack for Sageister, Ace Ace for little Danny, and we're playing 82 blinds deep. Third pocket rockets for little Danny. We'll see if this one goes as well as the other two did. He's knocked out 2 players so far. Goes for a big 3-bet, and Sageister didn't want to see this, but this should be expected. I don't think we 4-bet. We should just call the jacks, right? Oh, Sageister's thinking about a 4-bet. I don't know if we can just fold jacks pre. That'd be one hell of a play. We don't want to get 80 blinds in pre-flop. Whoa, Sageister folds the jacks. Fuck it. Sageister deserves the W. What a play by Sageister. Ace Jack for little Danny. They'll raise and take it down pre. What a fold by Sageister. You can just read into little Danny's soul. Did he make it a little too big? Or is it just this situation that Sageister says, fuck it, I gotta fold here. Interesting stuff. King 10 suited for Tonka will rip it in. I guess he leaves himself with 3 blinds once again. But an effective jam will get through pre. So like I was saying, I thought Sageister was calling the jacks. As I talked it out, like 4-bet doesn't make much sense. Folding I thought was out of the question. Sageister says no. Whoa. Jack 10 suited for Tonka facing this 2.5x raise from Sonny's queen 6. Oh, and would you look at that? Tonka flops the fucking nuts. Sonny with a middle pair. Backdoor flush draw. So they're not dead. Got some backdoor boat outs. I'll check it on over. If I'm Tonka, I bet pretty small here. Oh, excuse me. Tonka says we're off to the turn for free king of clubs. So Sonny's looking for a king or queen. Tonka will go down to the river for free 4 of spades. I think Sonny likes their queen here. Tonka's probably not getting a full double, but Sonny might bet. Tonka will rip. There's the bet by Sonny. Tonka's all in. And then Sonny's in the weirdest spot in the world. Like a king might do this straight. Tonka says I'm going to do it with. What sort of bluffs? Is there ever like 10-6? No, we blocked that. 10-7. Would it have bet at some point? Like diamond draw? Ace 10. No, I don't think does this. 10-8. Jack 8. You would have expected it to bet. 4-4 for value. Flop straight. What about like 5s or 6s, 7s turning themselves into a bluff? Not likely. I don't think this is ever a bluff when you think about it. So hopefully Sonny can find the fold. Sonny deep in the tank here. So what about 6-7? No, why would a hand like that even start bluffing? 9-10. Oh, whoa, Sonny sticks it all in for some reason. I thought they were going to play call. Tonka gets the full double. So, like, what about 9-10, Jack 9? Maybe they turn themselves into a bluff. So when you talk it out, there's certainly hands. Jack 8. Sonny sees the bad news. Tonka's got 24 blinds. Interesting hand. Someone tell me why Sonny stuck it in there for the last half a blind. Did he just think the queens were good? He's like, fuck it, I need to go for value against Jack 9. 10-9. Anyways, King 10 for Suggestor, King 3 for Tonka. Or that's not Tonka, that's Little Dan. 6-5, 2 flop. 2 clubs for Suggestor, 2 overcards. Little Danny with a straight out of the 4. Get an ace on the turn. Suggestor's probably winning this pot some which way. Don't think Little Danny's going to lead out the turn, but they go for the overbet on the ace turn. They just lead on out with the straight blocker. Rep the flop straight. 2 pairs. 6-5, ace-5, ace-6, ace-2. Lots of hands Danny could have here, and Suggestor folds the best of it with king 10. Queen for Jettis. BB in the big with the king and the queen. I think we call pre. If Lil Danny 3-bets will get out of the way, but they just fold reasonably. Don't 3-bet BB. They do play call. Queen 7-4 flop. This is just horrific news for BB. Top pair with a fair kicker. Out of position. We get a free turn card. Jettis checks back the top set. So there's a bunch of straight draws. Some flush draws to the diamonds. If I'm Jettis, I bet large. I think we might go full pot or something like this. Try to size up a river jam. Instead, Jettis bets 2 blinds. Maybe on these final tables in the tougher tournaments, you gotta bet smaller. Excuse me. As we see BB go for the check raise on the turn. If I'm Jettis, I just call. 10 on the river, so BB says all the draws brick. I wonder if this is a check call or a some sort of raise from BB. Do we ever bet like 9 blinds? Bet like half pot or something? Non all in raise. 6.5 blinds is the size from BB. I wonder if they can find the fold once Jettis rips it in here with the nuts. No straights on the board. No flush. Top set is the best holding. BB says, I don't know what to do now. Well, maybe they do know what to do. I don't know what to do now. BB, a stronger player than I, is going to teach us what to do. In the end, I think I land on the fold. I'd use like most of my time bank here. I'd just say what's bluffing. What's bluffing? You might have just got lucky and smacked 10-10 on the river, or queen 10, 10-7. 10-7 might check back the flop. Then there's like 5-6 you'd expect to bet on the flop. 8-9 maybe as a bluff. Jack 9. Jack 8. Diamonds. You don't expect like ace 10 to go for value. What about ace queen? If there's ace queen in that range. Difficult spot here for our friend. They do find the call. BB's out of here. Jettis wins a huge pot. Ace king for Tonka. Not too much doing for the other players. Danny with an ace on the button, I suppose, could 3-bet as we're down to 5. Everybody's locked up 20k. Next ladder's for about 6.5. Sonny defends the big. King 8, 2 flop. Backdoor straight draw for Sonny. Sees a small bet ski and he'll get out of the way. Ooh, another ace king for Tonka. No action for him though. Jack 3 for Sonny. Ace king gets a walk. Not much doing here neither. So Jeister will raise king 5-0. And I think they take it down pre 7-4 for Jedis in the big. Yeah, they're out of there. Ace 9 for Sunny. What do we do here? Sticking half our stack. Little Danny in the big with a couple of 8s. If they want chips, they'll get this in. Be a flip, but little Danny will be the slightest of favorites. I think we're gonna go for it. Little Danny's thinking about it. Yep, there's the raise. We'll flip for Sunny's life. I don't think Sunny folds after betting 6 blinds. 43% for Sunny. They need an 8. Oh, just some backdoor straight help. 9 on the turn is no good, as little Danny makes the set. So we're down to 4. 26 grand locked up. Next ladder's for about 8.5 grand. Tarka says who's next. As the obvious underdog. It's kind of funny. So Jedis has done a good job of getting back in the game after a few unfortunate holdings brought him down to about 30 or 40 blinds. They got a nice healthy stack and a king and a jack. Little Danny with the a7 suited. Why doesn't anybody say anything like Tonka? Just a nice active player, giving the fans something to laugh about. Who's next? A little knee slapper. And the other players are just silent. They're like, I can't give away any information. King Jack goes for a 4-bet here from Jedis. This is some beautiful poker. Little Danny in position with the suited ace. We did not want to see the 4-bet. Do we 5-bet? Little Danny in the tank. There's the 5-bet all in, and Jedis will fold. Nice play by Lil Dan. 126 blinds for him, 9-5 suited. We'll just fold from the cutoff. If I'm being honest, I thought that was an open. 7-2 for Suggestor on the button, will fold. Tonka with a 5 and a 6, we'll limp it on in. King 3 checks it back. Jack 9 flop. Not much doing for Tonka. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for Jedis. Queen on the turn. Not what nobody's looking for. Tonka does bet a blind. I think Jedis calls with the straight draw to the 10. The king high could be good. 5 in the middle. Tonka bets 1 blind again, even less. Like actually 1 blind this time. And the king high might fold. Does Jedis raises a bluff? Weird spot here. And Tonka gets the job done with a 1 big blind bet. Beautiful poker. Beautiful poker by Tonka. A7 for Suggestor. 3-3 for little Dan. Ooh, Suggestor folds the A7. Ace 10 for Jedis. We'll limp it on in. If I'm little Danny, I think I check back the 3s. 9-6-4 flop. Jedis checks the 2 overs. Backdoor flush draw. Backdoor straight draw. Little Danny says, okay, we'll go to the turn for free. 6 of spades. That's a fair card. If I'm little Danny, I bet a blind. Little Danny says we'll go to the river for free. 5 of diamonds. Goes check. Little Danny scoops the 2 in the middle. Would be a very sneaky little value bet on the river if the 3s went for it. But they don't find it. King 10 suited for Tonka will raise from the cutoff. Jedis with the queen and a 10 will fold. Do we ever call on the button here, covering Tonka? A 3-bet would be cool. But what do we do? Jettis. There's the 3-bet. Jack 2 suit or Jack 2 O for Suggestor, and little Danny will fold. Tonka will play call or 4-bet. Do we fold? 4-bet all in Tonka. They play call. Jack 6-5 flop. 1 diamond for Tonka. 14 blinds in the middle. 3 in a row for Jettis. Jettis bets small. What size? Like 3.5 or something? 4 blinds. If I'm Tonka, do we find another call here? It's going to be very difficult to play on turns. So Tonka finds the fold. Just on the flop and blinds go up. Nice little steal by Jettis. Ace 6 suited for Jettis will raise from the cutoff and take it down pre. Do 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 do. Aces for Lil Danny. Nobody else has had aces, but I think this is the 4th time for Lil Danny. They aren't going to get any action this time around, but just kind of funny to see. Remember when Suggestor folded jacks? First that 3-bet for 10 blinds? He had like, it was 83 effective. Or something like that. King 10 for Jettis in the small. Might limp it in. Be cool to see a raise. They do limp Lil Danny with a 2 and a 3. They raise to 3.5 blinds. King 10 will call, will be off to the flop. Ace Queen 6 flop. Jettis with the straight draw to the jack. Backdoor flush draw. Ace high board for Little Danny. The pre-flop aggressor will raise. Look to take it down but won't get it through. I wonder if we can bet like 5 blinds. Oh my lord. Little Danny bets 5 blinds. And then Jettis is in a weird spot with a straight draw. Backdoor flush draw. 7 on the turn. So there's 17.5 in the middle. Do we go 10? Do we just give it up? No straight draw, no flush draw. Yeah, if I'm Danny, I'm done. Do we ever bet like 8? 11.5. This is a huge bet. And it'll get the job done. Little Danny with a nice little steal there. Bloating the pot and continuing to tell the aggressive story. They're up to 100 blinds. 120, sorry. Tonka with the queen jack will raise from the cutoff. Ace deuce for Suggestor in the big. We could always 3-bet all in, but I don't think it's going to happen. What do we do? 3-bet to 5 blinds? Do we just fold? Ace 2 doesn't flop well. Suggestor plays call. Ace 9, 7 flop. That's funny. Top pair for Suggestor. Yeah, it doesn't flop well. Top pair. Yeah, no problem. Tonka bets about 2 blinds. Suggestor will play call. A 10 on the turn would be juicy. A king would be cool. A queen or a jack, I suppose. Tonka also picks up some equity as well, as we see the queen of hearts come. So Tonka will check it back now. There's still straight draws that they could get value from. Potentially 9x or 7x. 10 on the river. I don't think Suggestor value bets here. And Tonka's probably just going to check it back with the pair of queens as well. I'm just wrong. Suggestor does bet 2.6 blinds. Now does Tonka prefer a bluff over a hero call? Would be one hell of a play. That jack is a very interesting card to be holding. Tonka will find the fold. Very nicely done. Queen 8 for Jettis. We'll raise from the cutoff and I think take it down pre-flop. Eight two for Tonka. We'll call the big blind. Ace, ace five flop. Jettis with the flush draw. Tonka with a backdoor straight draw. 8 high sees a 1 big blind bet and we'll fold on the flop. Couple of 4s for Suggestor. They'll come in for the open. Jettis in the big with 6-7-0. We're in 3rd place. We've got chips to play with. We'll go to the flop, right? Doobity-doo. King, queen, 2. Suggestor's pairs are good. Or pair is good, sorry. Not much doing for Jettis. They see a 1 big blind bet. And a swift fold. 8-7 for Suggestor. Folds from the cutoff. 7-3 for Jettis in the small. We'll just fold. Little Danny gets a walk. King 2 for Jettis on the big or on the button. Holy moly. Little Danny 10-5-0 in the small. Raises 3.5. We love to see it. Suggestor with a 10 and a 2 in the big. It's suited and booted. Let's see a flop dealer. Let's do it, Suggestor. Ah, shit. Little Danny will take it down pre. 5-2 for Lil Danny on the button. I think we can fold. Suggestor with a suited king will raise. Do we jam for 10 blinds? There's the jam. Tonka has to fold. Jack 7 suited has plenty of equity, but just has to fold. Unless Tonka wants a big stack. There's going to be some worse holdings doing this. Like suited Jack X, suited 7X. Tonka finds the call. They're going to need a Jack 7 or 10. 5 would work. See the queen on the river. Suggestor knocks out Tonka in 4th. Ace 4 suited for Suggestor will raise. Little Danny in the big with a king and a 10. I think we call, but we could always 3-bet. Suggestor could always go for a 4-bet. They could always call the 3-bet. We could see a lot of bets go in here is what I'm trying to say. There's the 3-bet to 10 blinds. Now if I'm Suggestor, I love a click back. Suggestor says we're playing call. Queen Jack 5 flop. How interesting. No diamonds for Suggestor, but a straight draw for Lil Dan, who's going to continue to tell the story with 20 blinds in the middle. What size do we go? Like 6? 7? A 3rd pot? A 3rd pot. Lil Danny will take it down. Queen 6 suited for Lil Danny. Hey, limp it on in. Suggestor with a 10 and a 7. We'll check it back. Flush draw for Lil Dan. Pair and straight draw for Suggestor. This could be an interesting one. Flop goes check, check, 9 of hearts on the turn, so not too interesting. Lil Danny makes their flush bottom pair for Suggestor. They're looking for a 9 or a 7. They see a 1 big blind bet. I suppose we call with the pair 7, straight draw to the 8. 6 on the river. So there's some single heart hands that Suggestor beats. I don't know how much we want to have a 10 in our hand. I think we want to let them have a 10 and bluff it off as Little Danny goes for a sneaky little check on the river here. Suggestor will check and Little Danny will take the pot. Jack 8 suited for Lil Dan. Erase from the button. 9-2 for Jettis in the big. We'll fold. Couple of 9s for Lil Danny, get a walk. Jack 5 suited for Jettis on the button will raise. Little Danny with a 9 Jack suited. Every once in a while likes a 3-bet. Danny says we're just going to fold from the small. Suggestor will call the big with a 4 and a 2. King, queen, 6 flop. So I think little Danny should have played the Jack 9 with a call or a 3-bet there. Jack 9 suited, strong holding. If there's anything little Danny's done wrong, or if there's anything I disagree with, I should say. Not wrong. Because this isn't like a objective game where there's wrong answers and right answers. It's all subjective. So little Danny says, in that spot facing the Jedis raise on the button, I just want to fold, which is interesting to me. Little Danny with the Queen 4 suited will raise King 7-6 flop. Jedis with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. A few backdoor straight draws in there actually. Backdoor flush draw for little Danny. They got a backdoor straight draw as well as they bet and take it down on the flop, as you would have maybe expected Jedis to defend the big there. No. They've got 32 blinds. They just have to move along and look for a better spot. King 7 suited for Sejster will raise the button. Little Danny with 10-7 in the big will just fold. That's kind of beautiful to see. King 6 for little Danny. King 3 for Sejster. Got a 3.5x raise. And I think Sejster just finds the fold. Could go for a 3-bet. That'd be cool to see, but not this time. 10-4 suited for Jedis in the big. A couple of 5s for just Sejster. What do we do here? Raises to 3 blinds? Nope, a limp. Queen 10 6. Oh, that's an upside down 6. Queen 10 9 flop. Excuse me. Sejster checks the underpair. Jedis with second pair checks it back, picks up a flush draw, but that's a set. Sejster with 3 of a kind. An overbet would be sexy here. Make it like 3.3. Maybe just 3 blinds? 4.8. Closer to 4.9. But the overbet is sexy. And if I'm Jedis, I find the call with the flush draw in the pair. 10 on the river. Horrific news for Jedis. 3 of a kind versus a boat. Now, does Sejster just rip it in here for 2x the pot? They check it on over. Interesting shit. And if Jedis is a wizard, they would check it back here. But they've got 3 of a kind, so they're going to bet for value. Sejster will rip. And I think Jedis calls. And Jedis is dead. I think Jedis is out of the tournament here. They just rip it all in. And a quick call from Sejester's boat. And we're heads up 100 blinds deep. Holy fuck, for about 25 grand. King 10 versus Queen 4. So little Danny's done a good job of picking up pocket rockets. They play a pretty strong game too, you know. I think there's a few nice folds in there. Taking some aggressive lines pre-flop, getting Sejster to fold. But then the aces really helped little Dan. Sejester's played a great game. They folded jacks versus aces pre-flop. That's still that play's still on my mind. So we get an ace on the turn here. Turn goes check, check, check on the river. Little Danny's king high is still best. Doobity-doo. Not much action here. 4 blinds slide Danny's way. Queen 3 suited versus a jack and a 4. A raise and a fold. No, a limp. Limp pot. Limp pot. That's the strat we're playing. Keeping the pot small. Ace, queen, jack flop. What does little Danny do? They check back second pair. With the backdoor flush draw. Sejster with the pair of jacks says we'll just go to the river hopefully for free. 9 of hearts. 1 liner to a 10. I don't know if the pair of queens value bets here. We could try to get called by a jack 9 or 8. King high if we bet a blind. There's the value bet, 1.7 blinds. Nice fold by Sageister. Holy moly. I mean, there's only 1.7 blinds and Sageister still found the fold. Jack 5 will limp it in, 6-9 for Lil Dan. King Jack 3 flop. This one should be pretty boring. Both players with backdoor flush draws. Not much doing for Lil Dan though. Sageister could check it back. They do. Deuce on the turn. Goes check. Do we bet now? Sageister says for a big blind, and I'll take it down. King Jack versus Queen 4. We'll get, what, a limp? Or does Lil Danny change it up and raise it up? 2.5 blinds? And Sageister says, what's this all about, bucko? They play call, ace 10 9 flop. Both players with backdoor club draws. Lil Danny with a straight draw. 9 of spades on the turn, pairs the board. It'd be interesting to see Sageister bluff the queen high here. They might wait to the river. Jack of diamonds. Interesting. Sageister just checks, no bluffing. 4 big blind value bet from Lil Dan, and they'll take it down. King King for Sageister, 3 and a 5 for Lil Dan. Get a limp pot. Ace 10 flop. Pretty boring stuff. Sageister bets a blind. Lil Danny folds. 9-4 suited for Lil Danny. They're gonna come in for the limp. No, they're switching it up to 2.5x raise. Good stuff. I'll take it down pre. King 6 suited for Sageister. They raise 2.5 blinds and take it down pre. 10-7 suited versus Jake. Get a raise and a call. 7-6-2 flop. Interesting. Sageister with the top pair. 3 flush board. Plenty of straight draws. Lil Danny with the over pair and the flush draw. Oh boy. 3.5 blinds is the bet. Sageister can't fold on the flop here. But they are a wizard, so maybe they will. No, of course not. They come along to the 8 on the turn. Picking up a straight draw to the 9. Lil Danny says that's a scary card. We gotta bet again though. No, he gets a free. He says we'll go to the river for free. 8 of clubs. Is it Sageister block bet? Like 4 blinds? 3.8 or something? Sageister says no. Lil Danny will put in a value bet. The board does pair on the river. 8-7 makes a boat. 6-8 makes a boat. Lil Danny bets 9 blinds. It'd be a really cool bluff from Sageister on the river here. They turn their pair 7s into a bluff. Don't think it's coming in though. Nice fold from Sageister. Doopity-doo. Queen 8 versus King and a 5. About 90 blinds deep. Sageister raises 2.5. Danny calls. 9-7-7 flop. No straight draws for nobody, but there's some back doors. For both players, we get a bet of 1 blind, and Sageister will take it down. Easy doozy. 3-4 for Sageister. We get a raise and a fold. 5-2 for Sageister. 8-7 for Danny. Queen Jack 2 flop. Nobody picks up any flush draws. Lil Danny has a straight draw to the 9. Queen on the turn. So we could chop the pot here, providing there's a Jack 10 or a card higher than an 8 on the river. 5 on the river will give Sageister the pot. 5 blinds will slide their way. I don't think Lil Danny bluffs. I don't think Sageister value bets. Could try to get called by ace high. Sageister does go for a sneaky value bet here. It'd be very cool to see Danny punish it with a raise, but it's just so unlikely. It'd be so unnecessary. 3-3 versus 6-7. Get a raise and a call. What does the flop bring us, dealer? Jack 6-6. So Lil Danny with a boat draw. Backdoor flush draw. Do we just bet here? Try to take it down? Yes, we do. Sageister could check raise. Make it like 7.5 or something. Or do we go bigger? 8 blinds? 8.5. Sageister does say go bigger. That's good to know. 3.5x. Get a call from the threes. 9 on the turn. 22 blinds in the middle. Big pot. Big pot. Very likely to slide Sageister's way. So still draws out there. Hearts missed. Like queen 10. Sageister bets 22.3 blinds, which is full pot. Little Danny will find the fold. Sageister takes down a nice big one. They have 100 blinds. Jack 9 on the button. They'll raise and take it down pre. 10-4. Oh, for Lil Dan in the big. We'll fold. There we go. Queen 10 versus an ace and a 7. We get a raise and... No, we get a limp. Interesting. 100 blinds deep. Lil Danny switches up the pace. Dippity-doo, Sageister thinking about a raise. They make it 3 blinds to go. Little Danny will swiftly call. King 9-4 flop. Not the best for ace 7-0. Little Danny with a straight draw to the jack. Sees about a 2 big blind bet and will call. What does the turn bring us, dealer? Ace of diamonds. So Little Danny's straight draw gets longer, but that never helps. Sageister bets about half pot, a little bit more. Now if Little Danny calls on the turn here, they could always bluff on some diamond rivers. They say no, we're just going to fold and move along. 5-4 versus a king and an 8. Get a raise and a 3 bet. Do it, Little Dan. A raise and a call. Ace 7-6 flop. So backdoor nut flush draw for Little Danny with 3 in a row. 8 through 6. Sageister with 4 in a row in the backdoor flush draw. They bet 1.6 blinds. Danny calls. Jack of spades on the turn. So the king high is still best. Picking up a flush draw to go along to the river out of position. Danny's thinking about a lead here. They check it over. How about the 3 of spades on the river, dealer? Sageister bets 18 blinds? Whoa, wee whoa, this is pricing Danny out of the pot. What a play by Sageister. Danny calls queen on the river. Check. 44 blinds in the middle. Sageister has 5 high. And they check, and Little Danny will take it with king high. 44 blind pot. Slides Little Dan's way. Ace queen for Sageister. Limp pot. Sageister will raise it up. What an interesting little hand there. So one little slip up by Sageister as they raise to 8 blinds and take it down pre. I mean, the slip up was just checking back the river. I wonder if you should just blast off come the river. 2x overbet on the turn. If you get called, Sageister says maybe we should just give up on the river unimproved. Which is interesting. Ace 5 for Lil Danny. Flops the top as pairs. Backdoor nut flush draw. Sageister with some backdoor straight draws, but they get a 10 on the turn. That's no help for their holding. About 8.5 blinds in the middle. This would be fun to see Suggestor blast off, but it's just not going to happen. King of diamonds on the turn, or river. Holy moly. King of diamonds on the river. There we go. Well, Danny goes for a little value, but there's no value to be had as the blinds go up. 5 deuce suited for little Dan. King 8 for Suggestor. We get a limp pot. Suggestor checks it back. Queen 4 2 flop. Bottom pair for little Dan. Little Danny bets a blind. Suggestor with an overcard. No backdoor straight draws. Comes along. Queen on the turn. I mean, he's got 2 overcards to the pair of 5s. AirPods died. As we get a queen on the river. Would you please connect? There we go. Well, Danny does find the call here. Nicely done. Takes out an 8 big blind pot. Things are certainly going their way. 9-7 for 9-7 suited for Suggestor. Queen 2 suited for little Dan. 3-3 2 flop. Another little pair of 2s for little Dan. Suggestor with 2 overcards. No backdoor straight draw. Bets a blind. Flop goes bet call. 8 on the turn. Look at all the draws out there. 4-5. Ace-5. Ace-4. 5-6. Clubs. Diamonds. Suggestor with 9-7 of spades. Bets 2.7 blinds. Lil Danny finds a call. 10 on the river. So all the draws brick. And you wouldn't expect like Jack 10 to be putting in these bluffs. What about 9-10 suited or something like that? River goes check check. And a nice pot goes Lil Dan's way. Another one. King 9 versus King 9. This is the shit that we came to see. Limp pot. Suggestor checks it back. Ace 3 2 flop. Queen on the turn after the flop goes check check. Three on the river. How boring as we're gonna chop this up. Check down pot. Both players have the same holding. King 4 for Suggestor will raise the button. Queen 7 for little Danny will defend the big. King 8 2 flop goes check bet fold. Small bet. Little Danny with the backdoor flush draw. 7 high says yeah, well queen high, but the 7 high backdoor flush draw is not appealing. As I have to swiftly fast forward. Here we go, there's some cards. King 10 versus a 5 and a 2. Limp pot. Oh boy. Suggestor going for a raise. What size do we make it? Like, doesn't matter. Suggestor checks it back. 10-7-6. Little Danny in position bets a blind with the backdoor straight flush draw. Suggestor calls with the toppest of pairs, Jack on the turn. So that 5 of spades was a cool card to be holding on the flop, but I don't know if it's interesting to be holding on the turn. Danny says we'll bet large again. Suggestor will find another call. 6 on the river. So the front door flush misses. There was only the front door flush. There was no back door. Excuse me. I think little Danny's done with it, but they could always go for another big bluff ski. They say no, we'll just check it down and lose all the time. 9 and a jack for Suggestor. 2-6 for little Danny. Get a raise and a fold, and we're moving along. 7-2. I think we fold. So Jester with a queen and a 3 gets a walk. 8-6 for Sejester, 5 and a 4 for Danny. We're both suited to the spades, which is cool to see. Got a raise and a call. We're off to the flop. Raise and a 3-bet instead. Sejester play call. 6.5 more to call. Ace, queen 2. So straight draw for little Danny to the 3. Both players with the backdoor spade draw. I think little Danny will bet and take it down on the flop. 6 blinds? Maybe a little bit smaller, like 5.4. What size do we go, Dan? 12. Okay, I'm not in Danny's head at all. The 12 big blind bet will get through on the flop. 8-4 for Dan. Jack and a 7 for Sejester. Limp pot. King for 2 flop. Little pair for little Dan. Sejester with the backdoor flush draw. Out of position, going to be difficult to play, but we do see a free 6 of hearts on the turn. Huh. Does turn go check check as well? 8 on the river, so 2 pairs for little Dan. River goes check bet fold and we're moving along. Sejester with a jack of hearts and the 7 of clubs has an interesting check raising bluffing hand. Represent the hearts or the straight. There's just so few chips in the middle. Sejester says it's not really worth the bluff here. 8-6 will raise, 3-4 will defend, Ace-9 5 flop. Straight draw for Sejester, straight draw for Lil Dan. Sejester looking for the 7, Dan looking for a 2, backdoor clubs for Sejester, no hearts for Dan. See a small bet. Get a call with a straight draw for the 2, 10 on the turn. Sejester's straight draw gets longer, but that's never benefiting the player in the hand, only giving me something to say as we wait patiently for another Betsky to get through. 6.3 blinds. It is interesting to see Sejester take this big sizing. Certainly 4 high with the straight draw to the 2 folds. Danny's in the tank here. I think whatever they elect to do is kind of punty if they don't fold. If they raised, I think it would have got through, but I don't even know why we used some time bank there. We're just priced out of the pot with the little straight draw. Interesting happening there is Queen 2 goes for the raise, Ace 10 will 3-bet. Could always call too. There's the 3-bet to 10 blinds. Little Dan will fold the offsuit Queen 2. Poppity boo. 10-4 versus Jack 10. Excuse me. Excuse me. Jack 7 2 flop. So not much happening here. Top pair for little Dan. We'll check it on over. Backdoor straight draw for both players. Sejester bets 1.5 blinds. Play call Dan. Good stuff. King on the turn. So Sejester doesn't have a good reason to continue to barrel except that there's 8 blinds in the middle. And they might want them. They say we'll go to the river for free. Drawing dead. King of hearts. So the flush draw miss. All the straight draws miss. Little Danny might go for a little value. Oh, a big value bet. Over bet. 10 blinds into 8.25 and we'll take it down. Ace 4 will raise, or do we limp? What's Danny doing? Limp pot. 6-3 will go along to the flop. Ace 10-2. Little Danny with a backdoor nut flush draw. Backdoor straight draws. So Jaster's got a little backdoor straight draw 6 high. Probably doesn't want to see a bet. Without a heart, we'll fold. Little Danny in the tank. Little Danny in the tank. Bets a blind. And so Jaster folds. King Queen for Sir Jaster. We'll raise 2.5 blinds. Little Danny's out of there with the 3-4-0. King 6 for Little Dan. We'll raise the button. Ace 5 for Sir Jaster. I think we call. A 3-bet could come in too. There's the 3-bet to 10 blinds. Little Dan swiftly folds. 8-10 versus 6-8. This is cool. Get a raise from the button, a call from the big. What does PokerStars bring us? 10-7-5. So top pair versus the open ender, backdoor flush draw. So Jaster's got a backdoor straight draw in there too. A few of them. 3 of spades on the turn. Very interesting. So a 4, a 9, or a spade, or Little Danny needs to buy the pot with a big bet. Won't work on the turn. We'll see what the river brings us. King of Hearts. Whew, so Little Danny could go for like an overbet here. I don't think it'll get through. But there's the overbet. About 16 blinds into about 13. So Jaster says, well, I check back the pair on the flop. King on the river is an overcard, but I don't oh, so Jaster folds the best of it with the pair of 10s. Nice steal from Little Dan. I didn't think it was going to work, but the overbet got the job done. Jack 7 suited versus Jack 2. We'll see a limp and a check. And we're off to the flop. Queen, Jack 9. All hearts. We shouldn't see too many pennies go in the middle. No, 10 on the turn. Straight flush draw for both players. Obviously. Little Danny in position. We could always bet and take it down. 3 on the river. So we're playing Jacks, Queen, 10-9. We're chopping it up. Doo-boo-doo-doo. King 4 versus 4-7. Is Jaster limping this in, or do we raise? They go for the 2.5x raise, and Little Danny swiftly folds. Five 10 will limp it in. Queen 7 versus Jaster. We'll check it on back. I guess they could raise, but no, they will check. Ace 10 5 flop. 2 pairs for Little Dan. Backdoor second nut flush draw for Jaster. Backdoor straight draws in there as well. They see a 1 big blind bet. I think they're off to the turn. 60 blinds behind. Jaster folds on the flop. No action for the 2 pair. So Jaster's done a great job of folding, if we're being honest. They still have 60 blinds. They're still in the game. 10-2 suited will raise. Queen 7 defends the big. 5-4-2 flop. Bottom pair with the backdoor flush draw for Jaster. Backdoor flush draw and straight draw for Lil Dan. Sees a 1 big blind bet. 2 overcards. We're coming along to the turn. No, we're not. What an interesting game we've seen by both players so far. Oftentimes we see players just throw trips around back and forth, heads up, but these two have been keeping the pot small. Every once in a while you see a 3-bet take it down pre. No real setups yet. Ace, Queen, 10 flop. Queen on the turn. So we're often chopping the pot, any card above a 9. Both players play the board. River goes check, check. How boring. Speaking of board, 8-2 and 9-2. Get a raise and a fold. Little Danny takes it down pre. So little Danny does have an over to 2-1 chip lead, so that's good to note. Sageister, again, just still in the game. Jack 3. We'll limp it in. King 9 might raise it up and take it down pre. That it does. Makes it 4 blinds. Sageister in position. I think we still fold. Yes, we do. 9-9 versus 10-7. We'll get a raise and a call. We'll be off to the flop. If Sageister 3-bets, Danny could always 4-bet. There's the 3-bet to 10 blinds to the 10-7-0. Whoa, wee wah. Does Danny just call here? Weird spot for the 9-9. Do we click it back or something? No, Danny says we'll just rip it in and take it down pre-flop. Ooh, kings. 2 strong pocket pairs for little Dan. Sageister raises 2.5 blinds. Danny will 3-bet. And Sageister likely folds. 3-bet is small. 8.5 blinds. Typically the size has been around 10. Sageister under 50 blinds. Danny says I'll size down a little bit. 10-4-0 for little Dan. We'll raise. Jack 9 for Sageister. We'll defend the big. King 4 2 flop. So, little Danny bets real small in position and takes it down. Queen 9 for Sageister. Ace 4 for little Dan. Get a raise and a call. 10-6-3 flop. Backdoor straight draws for Sageister. A backdoor straight draw for little Dan. We get the 8 of spades on the turn. That ace high still holds up. Sageister's looking for a 7, a jack, a 9, or a queen. A big bet could also get the job done. 2 flush draws out there. We could always make it like 4 blinds to go or something. Get a free river, king of spades. Both players with a spade blocker. This just checks down and little Dan will take the 5 blind pot. 8-3 versus a jack in the 4 limp pot. 7-3-2 flop. Little Dan with the middle pair bets a blind. Backdoor straight draws for Sageister will fold. Dibbity-doo. Ace king suited for Sageister. I want to see them pick up some chips. They'll bet 2.5 blinds. I don't know if 8-5 off defends. Little Danny's about to teach us. They go for the 3-bet. This is not going to work out, obviously. Ace king suited for Sageister. Do we 4-bet all in? I don't think we call. That'd be beautiful to see. All in from Sageister and they'll take it down pre. King and a 2 versus a king and a 5. We'll see a raise, a limp, and a check. And we're off to the flop. 9-6-6. Pretty boring shit here. Jack on the turn. Pretty boring shit here. We're chopping providing there's no 2 or 5 on the river. 4. So we play 6s. King, jack, 9. Chop pot. Ace, jack, first jack, 8 suited. Get a raise, potentially a 3-bet and a call. There's a smaller 3-bet. Danny says Sageister's under 50 blinds, so we size down a little. Doopity-doo. Sageister, I think, finds the call with the suited playable holding. Jack, jack, 3 flop. So I guess the tournament's over, providing there's no 8-3 or runner, like double paired board. Little Danny can't go wrong here. They do go for a sizable bet on the flop. You kind of would have expected them to slow play the 3 of a kind, but they say no, we'll just fast play it. So Jester does have a heart draw. 30 blinds in the middle, so maybe the tournament isn't over. 8 or a heart. 5, 3 will chop. We see 11 big blind bet. Put the ace of hearts on the river. That'd be an interesting card. It'd be a boat. 10 of spades. So the tournament is just over. This is just an all-in from Little Dan and a call from Sejster. Sejster will beat Danny in the pot. Sejster is a wizard and folded jacks versus aces pre-flop earlier, so I doubt they can get away from this. But yeah, no, just a quick call. Little Danny gets the job done. They win the frickin' tournament. WCOOP event. That's very nice to see. Little Danny starting this thing off with 63 blinds, coming in 4th place. Sejster just the slightest of leads in 1st place. Again, those aces versus jacks, that was a beautiful hand. The heads up was fun to see as both players kept the pot pretty small. We played a lot of post flop, saw a lot of 5 cards, checked it down to the river, and then they went for some bets and whatnot. Anyways, it was a pretty damn interesting show. Jettis put on a good show. Tonka did a good job of hanging out. Pampa unfortunately never got anything going. Celowan had a few coolers go against them. Sunny played a strong game too. Who else do we have? BBRS was fun to watch. They took a spot for chips, like A6 suited or something like that, for like 18 blinds. They ripped it in pre-flop. Just showed you they got some big balls. You love to see some big ball plays. Anyways, that's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any suggestions on making the show any better, fire them down below in the comments. Alrighty, adios amigos.